If you were to walk down the street of Atlanta, you likely wouldn't give Keith Walker a second glance. At 53 years old, Keith had spent the last 13 years of his life without a home he could call his own. Though life may be difficult on the streets, Keith doesn't face it alone. Keith lovingly cares for his dog Bravo, ensuring that his companion has a bed to rest in every night at W Underdog Shelter. Thanks to W Underdogs founder Gracie Hamlin, even if life was complicated for Keith, navigating the hardships of homelessness, he had someone he knew would stand by his side. But one early morning in December, when Keith was going to pick up Bravo, Keith noticed that something at W Underdogs wasn't right. Plumes of smoke billowed from the W Underdogs building, and the staffs were out running errands, unable to help the animals within. Could you imagine what it would be like to watch the friend housing your companion burning, especially when life already feels rough? But Keith didn't just watch helplessly. Without considering the risk to himself, Keith rushed into the burning building. Choking smoke enveloped him as he desperately searched for Bravo, who he located and released. At this point, Keith could have left the work to someone else. Bravo was free to escape, and he was still in danger, standing in the burning building. But Keith did not back down. Risking himself further, he pressed on, managing to pull the remaining animals to safety. All told, 5 more dogs and 10 cats were rescued by Keith. Now, just because Keith acted so bravely, it didn't mean he wasn't afraid. He was quoted saying, "I was nervous as hell. I'm not going to lie. I was really scared to go in there with all that smoke, but God put me there to save those animals. If you love a dog, you can love anyone in the world. My dog is my best friend, and I couldn't be here without him, so I knew I had to save all those other dogs." This level of dedication was clearly motivated by the love Bravo had for him, and he found himself extending that love to other animals who needed him. That level of self-sacrifice was definitely appreciated by W Underdogs, who shouted Keith's praise on their Facebook page. Gracie Hamlin was quoted saying, "I can't thank him enough for saving my animals. I'm still in disbelief because I've been around a fire and I know how fast they flare up. He is my hero." Fortunately, W Underdogs was transitioning their housing. So with a little help from the community, the animals were able to move into the new shelter until they could find new homes themselves. But the story doesn't end there for Keith. When people read the story and learned that Keith had been homeless for so long, they wanted to give to ease Keith's hardship and initiated a GoFundMe page to raise funds and help Keith. The goal was set to raise $5,000, but to date, people had given over $92,000. How amazing. Fortunately, there are people and organizations who will come alongside Keith and help manage the funds that were raised so he can transition into a better life. Clearly, the love and companionship that Bravo has given to Keith over the years allowed him to rise to the challenge and face danger head on. With any luck, with the help of generosity from others, he will forge ahead in what comes next. How have people, or pets for that matter, inspired you to rise up to a challenge you didn't feel you could meet? We would love to hear your stories in the comments section below so we can be inspired by you.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe to our channel if you like good stories like this one. Now on the right, you can check out other amazing stories. And that's all for today. See you soon.